So welcome back everyone and Happy New Year. Now as it's the new year, it's about time that we set some goals out on this channel. And my goal is to hit 500,000 G by the end of this year. And by the end of 2025, I want to be at that 1 million Gamerscore. Now that might seem like I've got plenty of time to achieve it, but when you break that down, that means I've got to be averaging around 30,000 G every month. Now that's a lot of achievements to unlock, and with other videos and other work commitments, it isn't going to be an easy task getting that 30,000 every month. And if I want to get to 1 million within 1 year, I'm going to have to be getting closer to 60,000 per month. Maybe a little bit optimistic that, but I'm hoping to get more than the 30,000 every month. So hopefully within the 18-month period, we will be at that 1 million Gamerscore. And I'm hoping you will come along on the journey with me. So let's roll those credits. Let's find out how we're going to go about getting that elusive 1 million Gamerscore. Now, getting to that 1 million Gamerscore is like the holy trinity for most achievement hunters. And I'm no different. I want to be able to get to that 1 million Gamerscore. Hence why I'm setting myself this challenge of getting there within the next 2 years. Now, in order to do that, I've got to be averaging about 7,250 G every week, or about that 30,000 mark every month. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to be selecting certain games to play each week. We're going to be looking for the games that have a lot of achievements for a low amount of time or money. We're also going to be looking at what games are easy or have fun achievements. The last thing I need to do is get bored or frustrated with these games. We'll also be using guides and walkthroughs where we need to make sure we get through these games as quickly as possible. And we'll be recording all this and sharing it with you in our videos. Now, as we do a weekly sales video, we have the advantage of knowing what games are on sale each week. So we'll be looking at some of these as our primary games that we pick up each week. And I'm also lucky enough to have been provided by companies with codes for games that I've made guides for previously. So I still have a few of those to use to boost my Gamerscore as well. Now I'm currently sitting on 245,921 G. So to get to that million, I need another 754,079 G in the next 2 years. So that's our starting point, and our goal is that elusive 1 million G. So in order to get there, we need some games to play. And now this week I've selected 3 games that we're going to be showcasing. Now the first one I mentioned this week in our sales video, and it got a little bit of heat in the comment section. Nathan Braun was quick to get in there to say StoryTale was a miserable experience and not worth the 5,000 G that's available in that game, stating that the controls are awful and you've got to make it all the way to level 60 to unlock every achievement. Well, Hunter B3811 said the game wasn't bad, but sure it is a bit long. So was this game as bad as everyone is making out? Well, I had to find out. So that was the first game I was picking up this week. It was nice and cheap at only £2.09, and with a massive 5,000 G available, there was no way I was turning this one down. We'll also be looking at Ballotron for Windows 10. I got provided this one by Desert Water Games. It was one of the first games I ever got given. I played the console version, made a video for it, but never got round to completing the Windows version. So it's the perfect time now to go back and pick up that game and get a quick 3,000 G in that game. And the final game we'll be picking up is another game that was on sale in our weekly sales video, and that's Gabriels World, the adventure on console. This one was on offer for £3.44, has another massive 4,000 G on offer, meaning that for this week we're going to be looking to pick up 12,000 G, already giving us around 5,000 more than we needed. So this will be a brilliant start to the week and give us a great start starting point to get us to that 1,000,000 G gamer score. So all in all this week we have spent £5.53 on these 3 games. Like I said, I did get Ballotron for free, which is making this a lot cheaper than it would for you. But this is a great starting point. And like I said, it's going to give us a nice boost. And these games were super cheap on these sales, so definitely worth picking up with those massive gamer scores. But let's waste no time. Let's jump in and have a look at that first game, StoryTale, and see if it's as bad as everyone was making out. So the story sees you play as a little princess who didn't want to be queen, slipping out of the palace in search of a mysterious amulet. She believed the amulet would give her magical powers and help her to become a real sorceress. Meanwhile, the immortal prince of the neighbourhooding kingdom, having heard of the princess's disappearance, bravely sets out to find her armed with cursed weapons and breaking through the hordes of goblins. So the game is a classic platformer with a bunch of levels, goblins, spikes, traps and puzzles. With the help of unusual spells and magical weapons, the prince and princess will float above the ground, walk through walls, become giants, freeze enemies, craft platforms, breathe underwater, and so on. StoryTale will tell you a warm and sweet tale about the amazing adventures of the warrior prince and the sorceress princess, and remind you of the wonderful era of classic video games. Well, that was the premise anyway. The main draw of this game is its 5000 G with a 1 hour completion. Now, that isn't true. From the start, you can't get the 5000 G in an hour. You will only get the base game 1000 G in that hour. I got a completion time of 2 hours 25 minutes. You're probably looking at least 2 hours for this completion if you want the full 5000 G. On the plus side, there isn't very many missable achievements in this game. Simply by playing through the game, you will get every achievement. The only slight missable ones are the fetch quest ones, like you're seeing on screen at the minute, where you've got to go find an item and bring it back to the character. The characters always have a mark above their head letting you know which characters you need to talk to in order to do these fetch quests, but some of the characters can be behind the starting point, so they are slightly missable if you don't check behind you at all times. But other than that, just simply playing through and remember to go back and doing these fetch quests will net you every single achievement in one run. So on that regards, this is a very simple game. The other downside is, as was mentioned in the comments, this is a long game for a 2 hour completion. And after about 20 odd levels, this game does begin to drag. The levels are very similar, even with the new spell mechanics that they start introducing. All the levels seem very short, very similar, and don't add much variety to the gameplay. So this one is a bit of a drag. It's maybe not the worst game I've ever played, and it's definitely worth sacrificing those 2 hours to get that 5000 G, but towards the end it is going to be a little bit of a grind, so don't expect this to be on one of your first games that you pick up. So let's get to the achievements. So in total there is 32 achievements for this 5000 G. You will get them for completing the levels, you get them for completing levels 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. You will also get them for picking up certain weapons along the way. So this natural hammer, once you pick up that one, you will get an achievement for that. Also the fire hammer, the fire chain and the ice chain, you'll get them for that. Like I said, the majority of them are going to be for doing these fetch quest ones. There are loads and loads of fetch quests. I'd say there's at least 13 in total, and the rest are basically for picking up the spell scrolls in later levels. Once you pick up the scrolls, you'll unlock achievements, and that basically makes up the majority of the 32 achievements. Like I said, you're not really going to miss any of these apart from maybe those fetch quest ones if you forget to go back or just simply don't notice the goblins with their little marks above their heads. But all in all, simple achievements, you're not going to miss them, and you'll be able to pick up that 5000 G in around the 2 hour mark. So next up on the list was Ballotron Windows. This is a real simple game with a simple principle. Get the blue ball to hit the green ball. It's as simple as that. And to get all the achievements for that 3000 G, all we had to do was complete the first 20 levels. Simple as that. Nothing else. Just complete those first 20 levels. Well, that didn't take very long at all. It took me about 25 minutes and I got the full 3000G. You can see from the footage, unfortunately being the Windows version, you don't get the achievement pops like you do on the Xbox console. But as you can see, we made light work of a lot of these levels and got to the end pretty quickly. So all in all, a really easy game. If you're looking for a big gamer score, this is definitely one to consider. It normally retails for £4.19, but can go as low on sales as £2.30. So definitely look out for this one on sales. For that £2.30 mark and 3000G, this is definitely one to be considering if you're wanting to give yourself a great gamer score boost. So that brings us to the final game that we were going after this week, and that's Gabriels Worlds The Adventure. Now, this one is got 4000G on the line, so another massive score. It's a simple platformer, which is Gabriel is a child like others. He plays, studies, plays video games, and loves his big boss cereal. Raised by his beloved mother, the two live in a small, quiet, and peaceful town, but everything changes with reports children are disappearing around the world and strange creatures are taking over the city. So this is an adventure of pure precision, story, puzzles, collectibles, and a pure cuteness. The game itself is pretty simple, some simple platforming to get over different traps. You can bounce on enemies a bit like you would in Mario, and there's some hidden secrets along the way through secret walls where you can pick up collectibles like your big boss cereal, and you pick up bowls of cereal as you're going along. All these are linked to basically the achievements. Again, this isn't one where you can really miss any of the achievements, and if you do with the level select, you can simply go back and pick them up after you've completed the game. Achievement wise, there are 31 achievements to this game. You can probably get these in around 45 minutes. It took me about that time to get all of these for that 4000G. If you're just going for the base game, I think you can get that in about 15 minutes. It really doesn't take that long, but obviously with those added additional updates, it will take you about 45 minutes because it does require you to get to the end of the game. Now, most of these are not too taxing. To be honest, I had the most trouble with the first boss. All the other bosses didn't seem to be any issue at all, but the last boss, which is a running level where you've got to precisely jump through spikes which kill you instantly, that one was a little bit tough just because the jump is a little bit delayed and not always as accurate as it needs to be, but overall I think I got there in about 5 tries. All the other achievements are pretty simple. You'll pick up achievements for collecting cereal. Once you collect up to 600 bowls of cereal, you'll get all the achievements for that. You'll also get them at 10, 20, 30, 200, and obviously like I said, that's 600. You'll get them also just for naturally jumping 50 and 100 times during the game, and you've got to collect all the normal box cereals and the rare cereals because you'll also need these at the end for some hidden achievements. And there's also a few collectibles and hidden secrets like collecting Mr. Maker's protective helmet, finding the party for Gabriel, and dying 10 times. Now there are also a couple of secret ones that you might not be aware about. The first one being that at the very start of the game, you have to watch the little opening scene. Do not be tricked into pushing A and skipping the scene. Simply watch that scene until it gets to the end. That will unlock the achievement as soon as you start the level. And the next one again is at the start of that very first level. You simply just got to stand there for about a minute and a half. There is a counter on screen telling you how long you've got to stand there. Doing that will unlock another achievement. Then once you complete the game and you have all the boxes, if you go into the collectible screen and use the spoon to break all the rare boxes, revealing some pictures behind, you'll get another achievement for that. And also by clicking on the credits, you'll also pick up another achievement for that one. Also on that collectible page, you'll find a ET green alien head. Whack that one with the spoon as well, and that will unlock yet another achievement. Overall, this is a pretty simple game, really easy on those achievements. Didn't give me too much trouble. couple of difficult stages in there, but that's what made the game more enjoyable. Again, for that 4000G, this is definitely one to be considering. It's $4.59 normal price, but again, this one goes on sale regularly and has been as low as £1.60. Definitely check it out if you ever see it for that £1.60. For 4000G, that is a right bargain. And like I said, for about 45 minutes worth of gameplay, you'll pick up the achievements real quick in this game. So that was our 3 games that we had selected this week. That gives us a really big 12,000 Gamerscore boost. A brilliant start for this week. We're definitely on our way to that 500,000, and I really do hope that you hang along with us as we push towards that million. I really hope we can get there in about 18 months, if not quicker. So definitely hit that bell notification and subscribe to the channels. Leave us a comment below. Let me know what Gamerscores you are and what Gamerscores you're setting yourself for this year. Hopefully we'll all be pushing towards that million in no time at all. Now, we'll be releasing these videos as often as we can, so you'll be able to see the progress and what games we're picking up along the way. So hit that bell notification, but until our next one drops, thanks all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.